Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. So today we're going to talk about Marvels by Kurt Busiek, and art by Alex Ross, of course. So this is a really good book. The only problem is maybe some of the, I feel like there's maybe at least in the cover pictures there's a lot of Spider-Man, which I feel like might not be necessary. There's Spider-Man, and then there's Spider-Man, he's on the cover. I feel like it's a lot of Spider-Man for no reason, even on the back. Because it's mostly just a book about Marvel in general, not, it's not all Spider-Man, so it's kind of a weird thing that they would put him on all the, the cover pictures and everything. But, it's a good book, I guess, nonetheless. And you can never have too much Spider-Man, right? It just seems kind of weird, but, so, this book just chronicles basically the more important parts of the Marvel Universe. It starts off with the introduction to, the Human Torch and the Submariner and Captain America. And it kind of just goes, and then, because that's from 39, and then we take a giant leap into the 60s, and everybody's pretty much already been established. So, and you follow the photography skills of a man named Phil Sheldon, and we it's basically Marvel on a ground level and in the real world. So it's a pretty good book, I think. But that's basically the synopsis of it. It's got, without spoiling anything, because I've been working on my reviews and trying not to spoil anything. But it basically goes from the Human Torch and the Submariner, the original days of Timely Comics, all the way to about the 70s, at the end of the Silver Age, kind of. This is the remastered edition, so it has a bit more to it. There's some info on Alex Ross's art and stuff. But it's a really good book, I think. And especially here is really cool, because in the back I just realized this, looking through the pages, it's got a index for everything that happened in the comic, which is really cool, because it has all of the the key parts of the things that happened in this book, and it gives you the issue and what they happened and what the issue it actually happened in. So that's kind of cool, I think. So yeah. So the story is pretty good. It just follows. It's like I said before, it's a ground level Marvel universe. With this version, I don't know if it's in all of them. Well, I'm assuming so, but it starts out at issue 0, and that's the introduction of the Human Torch, and it's from his perspective, and then we go into the actual comic thing with Phil Shelton, sorry. So it starts off, I think, kind of slow personally, because it's kind of, I think it's a little weird, but on the other hand, you also don't want to take up too much time establishing every Marvel superhero that exists, because that would take basically the whole book, and you wouldn't really get anything out of it. But it's interesting because, at first everybody's in awe of the Human Torch and Submariner, and then they kind of grow to they're maybe they're not so good. So it's the thing we have nowadays, where with the Dark Knight and Civil War and Batman v Superman, where people are kind of questioning the heroes in the world. They're do they really need to be here? They're kind of taking up space. So this is kind of interesting. I feel maybe they should have touched on it maybe a bit more, but I don't know. That's just my opinion, because I feel it comes a little too late in the book. But that's just my opinion. It's still an overall good book. Yeah, I feel there's a weird time jump, but I understand why there is a time jump. I don't know if I necessarily like the character of Phil Sheldon, but that's just my... Because he's a bit too, like... Granted, he was born, like, in, around the 30s. So he's an old-timey guy, so I get that, but, it's... I don't know. Maybe he's too old-timey, I guess, if that makes sense. But it's a good book because I think there's a lot of conflict with Phil. Because he feels inferior to the superheroes as a husband and stuff. And there's a lot of things that like pop up in the Marvel universe that are like, hey, is this a good idea? There's of course the conflict with the X-Men and everything. So there's a lot of... It's really, I guess you could say, it's like a good history of the Marvel Universe. Like, if you don't know a lot about it, this will definitely catch you up to speed. So, yeah. And, of course, the artwork is great. There are a few pages I thought looked a little odd. But, again, usually when it comes to Alex Ross's artwork is really good, so it's hard to complain. I just had, like, one minor complaint, but even then it's still, like, not horrible. But, like, right there, I feel like is a little weird. But, again, he could draw circles around me. But, yeah. I'd probably give this book, like, an A-. It's really good. A lot of facts, a lot of info. So if you don't know anything about the Marvel Universe, this is a good way to catch up and get, like, a quick, brief summary. That way, you can find the heroes that you actually like. And then you can start from there. Especially this book. I would definitely recommend this book because it has, like I said before, it has all the issues where this stuff happened. Like, so, if you want to look for like the first appearance of the X-Men or the first appearance of, whoever, you can look it up in this book. So I'd recommend doing that. So yeah, there's Marvels by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next comic book review. Peace.